her while she kissed the sky. Excuse 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 her while she kissed the sky.
Said tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The we made, well, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. The speaker's so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat 'cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back, just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. There's people here that I just met, but we're acting like we go back. It's 3 a.m., but we ain't done yet, trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young and there's still to race. We've got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back, just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age. We're too loud, we're too proud, we're too high to come back down. We don't think, we don't plan, we stay as long as we can. As long as we can. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back, just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age. You're a crack at dawn, Monday morning coffee, strong, pouring everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. You're a power stroke, diesel backhoe riding king.
Charles and I settled here in the booth. This should be a fun one. Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a look at some of the stars here of today's game. Let's get right to it. Caleb Sturgis now to do the honors and get us started. And off we go from uptown Charlotte. Fielded about a yard deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. They'll come out in the pistol. Newton on first down. Backing up. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Flowers. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And an alley to run. He cuts left sideline and a crease there. And touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 48 yards. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
This is Isaiah Crowell, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
And the good thing about the top-notch safeties, they can play from deep coverage or they can play close to the line of scrimmage, and the end result is often the same, a big-time play for their defensive team, and that's exactly what we just saw.
Just beating the play clock is Newton. And that's complete to Brian Quick. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they...
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They will go for it. Now Newton. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. To throw on second down is gone. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Goff now to throw. Being chased out left. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the 1st quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. Now 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes.
And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So on 4th down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. .42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now back out comes the offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
1 man in the backfield, Elliott. Play action. It's Goff. Forced out to his left. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 1st and 10, Goff. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Martellus Bennett, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Buying time to his left. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And that brings up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And he's got room. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll toss it to Crowell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Newton. And this one is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. 3rd down here.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Now it's Newton. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football.
literature in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn, it was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus, rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Now on the front line, looking for the science. Shades falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And there were colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down.
And now we get a peek at some of the top players here for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis ready to go in the booth. We hope you're ready to go at the controls. Let's play. Lachlan Edwards has it on the tee and ready to go. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here we go now.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 1st down, it's gone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They go play action here on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
30 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a Green Bay first down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down now after the incompletion. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's got time in the pocket. It's caught inside the 25. And a big 32-yard play on third.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Rodgers will try again on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Caught out left side by Robinson. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. One man in the backfield, Elliott. He's going to get the football across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
The throw on second down is gone. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Let's go. Boom, landed. Boom. Off Play action. Here's Goff. It's brought in by Bolden. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yeah.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Now a first down throw. Goff over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. Touchdown! Jarvis Landry, 51 yards. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found the seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden, with it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Goff on first down. Incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's second down.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
On second down, Elliott. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit.
Throwing on third. Goff. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jarvis Landry with his second touchdown here in this first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route. and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route. Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And now it's third down.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. Offense trying to avoid stall. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And Ndamukong Suh in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. It's a wobbler here. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Set. Green, 39.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 1 man in the backfield, Elliott. Goff now to throw. Flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st down, Goff. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Rodgers now to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And Eifert has it. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Tyler Eifert, 61 yards. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also have to love and admire what the defense did. Swarmed the play and made sure he couldn't get anywhere. A loss of yardage.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. And he couldn't get rid of the football, try to buy a little time, but he'll just tuck it and go down. A long way to go for the offense here on 3rd down. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Here's Goff, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown! Jarvis Landry, 65 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field, and they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive, but they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Rodgers. A dump off to Elliott. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll go for it with Bell. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Now this offense ready to take over again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Julius Peppers in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. 2nd down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. 3rd and long. It's gone. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They'll come out in the pistol. Rodgers now on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Rodgers to throw once more. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Rodgers now to throw. And this will be incomplete.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
58.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, possession switches hands. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. 1 man in the backfield, Elliott. To throw is gone. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Steps away to his left. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Tyler Eifert, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Rodgers will throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on off.
And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They go to Elliott again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a